section were built earlier, more than another section we already seen. So this section will built from 7th to 9th century. And you look at many buildings, tower in this look. Right now, it's very ruined because this is the most damaged place by US bomb. And unfortunately, until right now, we cannot do anything to rebuild this section because we cannot find out the same materials like the Chinese people did. We cannot make the clay handmade bricks. And the second thing is most of the habitation, most of the documentary were stolen. And do you know who took that?
Chinese, Japanese.
No.
French?
The French, correct. The French.
Do you have it?
The French was the first person came here. Yeah. The French, in the old day, the French, they colonized us for more than 100 years. And the French, they took a lot of its habitation in Mỹ Sơn. But unfortunately, they refused to return back for us. So that's the reason why right now in Mỹ Sơn, different sections, we invite different scientists who come here and help us for restoration. So with the group B, C, and D, right now, we have a German and Polish scientists. They came and help us for restoration. And with the group G, E, F right now, we have Italian government. They help us for restoration. So now we look at on the wall. You can see any orange line bridge on the wall. It must be a very new reconstruction. So in 2015, the Italian students from Milan University, they came here and then they helped us to rebuild it, reconstruct it. And the special things in here, they don't use cement, but they use the brick powder and the tree sapper. And once again, all the bricks were smoothed together, the same way like the Chinese people did. And then they rebuilt it. They did a very good job. Yeah. However, if you come back here around 10, 20, 30 years later, it will be better.
Maybe you can translate.
Because I told everybody, right now we cannot find out the same materials like the Chinese people did. So the Italian students, they took the bricks from the Thanh pottery village. Thanh in Hội An is very famous for Thanh pottery village. So they took bricks from there and then they rebuilt it. And after 10, 20, 30 years later, under the sun, under the rain, and you come back here, you will see it will be very rust on the wall. It will be very mossy because the new bricks keep moisture, hold water inside. But the ancient, you see the ancient, for 1,000 years until right now, or maybe 100 years, 200 years later, it's still the same. Nothing gonna change. Because the ancient bricks never hold water inside. So once again, you remember, when you come to Mỹ Sơn, you can see any place with some small tree, some place with the moss come out. It must be a very new reconstruction. So new and old corporation. And now please look at the window. Yeah. Every window in Mỹ Sơn always has 3 pillars or 3 columns. Because the Chinese people, they worship 3 gods. Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Shiva were a god of the destruction. Vishnu were a god of the protection. And Brahma were a god of the creation. So destruction, creation, and then protection. But the reason why in here, they just worship only Shiva. Because Shiva were a god of the destruction and creation. And Shiva were a man and woman. Shiva has both. Like you can see Linga, Yoni everywhere inside the main temple. And Shiva has the power to create a new universal, a new world. So that's the reason why in here they just worship only Shiva. And the last thing I want to tell with everybody, the reason why the first royal king, Brahma, he chose this area and then he built a temple to worship the god. Because surrounding this area, the mountain and the holy river, it looked like a snake, a king cobra, and a snake were representing for the god Shiva. So that's the reason why he chose this area and then he built a temple to worship Shiva. So right now we finished. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so now you can get inside, get some picture library tower, and then we walk back to the souvenir shop. We wait for the address card and we go and enjoy the lunch. Yeah. Are you hungry?
Yeah.